I can't help but notice and draw a link that you're playing a royal here who chooses to marry for love rather than for political reasons. You've done that before.
I've done that before. Although I met this girl in the woods, not on the battlefield, sawing someone's leg off.
No.
It's a bit more romantic.
It's a bit more romantic and it has slightly better results.
Yeah, a happy ending for a change, which is nice.
Which must be nice. It's funny because last night on Jon Stewart on The Daily Show, he referred to one group of politicians as having red wedding each other, right? The other group.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh wow, it's a verb now.
Oh, that's quite cool. I like that.
Do you agree that this is the most shocking moment, certainly on that series, but possibly in television history, maybe the world?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to see it because I was obviously inside it. But yeah, like it kind of, lots of people were shocked from it, which is great. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to really kind of surprise people with it because you don't expect it to happen. I think that's what Game of Thrones does so well, is it's not fairy tale happy ending like lots of other television shows. It's like the opposite. We just kill all the good guys.
Kill all the good guys. There does seem to be punishment for being moral in this particular, unlike Cinderella. I'm curious if you still are getting sort of responses from audiences that are catching up now, or if you have one pinnacle response that is the funniest kind of shocked response.
People always like, why did you die? Why did you die? And you're like, it wasn't anything to do with me. I didn't choose to die. It's in the books. It's in the story, which I always think is quite funny.
Was filming that scene the moment for you on that series, or is there something else that's sort of the pinnacle that captures what that experience was for you?
Yeah, that was like a massive moment, I think, as well, because it was the last scene we shot on the last day of shooting season 3, and it was my last day on set. That was such a big moment because we were such a family for like 5 years. So it was like a really big, and obviously it's like such a traumatic scene to shoot, and we did it for like 7 days straight, covered in blood and arrows sticking out of you and your wife on the ground with her unborn baby dead and stuff like that. So, it's like a traumatic old day.
I mean, how do you, as an actor, I would just think you have to be joking a lot off set.
No, there's not. That's the kind of thing. People always like, what are the funny stories in Game of Thrones? And you're like, it's a really miserable set. Like everyone's worried about getting killed or dying. Every scene I'm doing is like, oh, the army's failing and another, family member's gone and been killed. There's funny things like the fact you've got all these like big men in furs and armor and stuff, and like everyone's really kind of masculine acting, and then when it's cut, everyone's like, oh please can we take this armor off, and my back's sore, like they can't stand up because it's too heavy for them.
Well, we know that there are going to be some flashbacks this season, so could it be that fans would be delighted with an appearance of one Robb Stark?
I'm not in this season. And even if I was, I'd say that anyway, wouldn't I?
And lie to me?
Yeah.
Robb Stark would not lie.
I have to, because HBO would have like snipers that would take me out if I had spoiled anything.
Well, they've also said, and this is, I know I gotta let you go, but this is my last question. So people are going to die this season on the show that are still alive in the books. If you were a betting man, who do you think is gonna, on the chopping block, who do you think's coming out of this thing on top?
Well, I know bits and bobs, so I can't really say anything.
You know bits and bobs?
Yeah. Which I'm annoyed about because I hate knowing. I'm always like,
we're gonna
please don't tell me.
You.
Don't tell me what's going to happen. And someone's like, oh yeah, because when someone dies there, and you're like, what? You spoiled it.
Do you think Arya's going to win the whole thing?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
If Arya and Daenerys and Jon Snow, if they can kind of somehow get together and win it, I would be happy with that ending. But then again, it is Game of Thrones, and nothing ends well for anyone, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
I think it's just going to be 3 dragons left at the end, kind of circling the kingdom, and everyone else is dead.
No, I really want it to be that, actually. It's an amazing response. Thank you so much for coming in today. Cinderella is out in theaters on March 13th. It's awesome. It's really great. I was so surprised by how taken I was with it, to be honest with you. Yeah. So beautiful work as Prince Charming. Thank you so much for being with us today. March 13th, Cinderella.
Go see it.